Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys both got involved? Were you approached for the roles, auditioning?
I ended up somehow, Tim Chambers, who wrote and directed it, had inquired about me. I'm not sure sort of what the whole process was, but he ultimately came and I was doing a play here in New York. I was doing Suddenly last summer at the Roundabout, and I think that ended up being kind of my audition because he ended up really responding to the play, and then we sat down and spoke after that, and ultimately I got really excited about doing the movie.
Was there something about your character in the play that connected to your character here?
No, I mean, it's interesting. Suddenly last summer is Tennessee Williams. I mean, I guess completely different character, but strong, complex woman, I guess. But someone who was sort of losing her mind and descending into madness. And Kathy's definitely got her head on, straight.
And then from there, everyone was cast around you. So what was that process like?
I read the script, and then I went in and I read for the role, and I was taken in by the character's sense of just developing with the main character, with her journey, and being part of the whole there. And for me, it was going in and meeting Carla and then reading with her, and
really, we had
it was a good energy.
So much fun.
A lot of fun. It was a lot of give and take. It was. The energy obviously is, it was there, and I baitedly waited until they met other people, and the whole process. It was fun, though.
Well, you always kind of also you're finding in this what was really important, because there is some tension between them. You really need to believe that they love each other, and that ultimately he wants the best for her. It's just this is all stuff that he never thought. Like, this is all new. And it's new terrain for both of them. So that was also really kind of like in when we started, doing it together, it was kind of like, oh, right, I believe these guys as a couple, and then Marley Shelton, who's fantastic in the movie, is an amazing actress and a dear friend. And in fact, when I read the script, I thought, I can't imagine anyone but Marley Shelton in this role. And so I called Tim and said, do you know who this actress is? And he didn't. And so he ended up, they had a whole process for themselves. And ultimately he was like, there is no one better for this part. She is so perfect. And so it was just one of those kind of like, I take no responsibility other than the fact that it was like written for, I just really couldn't imagine anything else. And then Ellen Burstyn came on board, which was amazing. And so we really did just have an incredible group of people.
And then how about some of the girls on the team? One of my favorite things that I read in the notes was that Tim didn't cast any of them. He didn't let them read for the roles until he saw them play basketball, which I can see on screen.
Yeah, right? I know. And exactly, I had nothing to do with, I didn't do any readings with them, or he just kept sort of saying, this is one thing that, and they all are players, and that really does, it informs so much. And also wonderful actors. I mean, he really did you get both, but they were also just so, what was really cool too is that they were so excited to be there.
They were intense. They were
really, yeah.
The day that they were playing basketball, I remember being there, and they were so into it.
Mm-hmm.
They're so, like, someone was getting taped up. I was like, they're going in for a game.
Totally. And they also lived in the dorms at Immaculata together as they would have. And so they completely bonded in that level, and they were just really, really great. And it kind of it also gave me a sense playing it. It's like, you want these girls to succeed. And I think that their energy fed very much the way that I played Kathy, too.
So how about basketball for the two of you? Do you play at all? Did you follow any,
I have a feeling he's played a little more.
I have a little bit. I wasn't a huge basketball player. I mean, I played a little bit, but it was more like playing football and ice hockey. Basketball, not so much, but I enjoyed watching it, in the early 80s and in the development of the NBA and whatnot. So for me, man, I enjoy the sport. It's a shame that it's on strike right now, and they've shut down the first 2 weeks of the season, and there's a lot of conflict going on right now. And a film like this, it reminds people about the simplicity of sport. Male, female, whatever the sport is, it's when you just get down to the simplicity of it and the love of playing the game, the love of like her character coaching the game and watching her succeed when there's so many obstacles around you, and you got to define those moments of greatness. And how do you define it? You have to be there. You have to stretch yourself, and this film does that. It's inspiring. It's
kind of like the innate beauty of a sports movie.
Yeah,
and you remind yourself simple. So basketball to me is fun, but it's,
So did you pick up a thing or two working with the girls?
I did pick up a thing or two, and I definitely learned, because I really wanted to understand everything about the plays that I was setting up, and it was important to me that I wasn't faking those aspects of things, because obviously in terms of actually physically playing, I would never be good enough to, you know, these are the things where it's about, for me, about creating the gesture of that character and about her being a leader. And so, yeah, I ended up coming out with a great... I've always enjoyed watching basketball. It's one of the sports I actually really like watching because it's just so balletic and beautiful, and you know, there's such a fluidity to it. But then it was really, that's one of the huge gifts as an actor is that, you know, I played a brain surgeon once, and I got to go watch a brain surgery.
Wow.
And who gets to do that?
Amazing.
Who would let an actor into your brain surgery? But someone did, and I was excited about it. You know what I mean? But those kind of things, I know, it was crazy. But those kind of things, it's you really, I played a crime scene investigator. I got to go talk to the person who worked on like the Zodiac case, and so all of those things I feel so, so in this particular case, I walked out of this experience knowing a lot more about basketball and having an even greater appreciation for it than I did.
Because this film is about, you know, one woman's journey to get something done. And like in when, you know, with Kathy Rush being on the set, that energy is like, she is it's serious. Like she sees it, she's like a laser beam. Absolutely. And you pick that energy up, it's like, there it is. Like, boom, it's amazing to see and be part of that energy.
How was it having her on set? Like, what did you guys talk about?
It was really great. You know, it's funny. It wasn't, because she also appears in the movie very briefly. And it was, we didn't even talk about anything other than, I had some questions for her. And then we just talked about life and sort of what it was like to, you know, to be there and how the whole kind of thing happened. And I guess that's what was interesting to me is that she was driven for sure, and she was very galvanizing to the people around her. But it was also a simple matter of what seemed right to her. It wasn't really like, I don't think it was about making a big statement or, you know, bucking the system, so to speak. It was just that at every turn when she saw injustice or she saw like, oh no, but we should be moving forward here. Why are we not? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? You have the idea? That doesn't work. You know, it was kind of an amazing thing to see the simplicity behind how it happened and her real smarts.
So how was it having her on set and then also a director who wrote the script too? Because I imagine that there's two people who really understand who these people are.
Well, you know, it's funny because I get this, I've been to Comic-Con a bunch of times for a bunch of different things, and people are always like, are you really worried? Because these are the people that are really the fans that really care about the thing and they know it really well, they know the original material, and it's like, I am so happy to be with people who know more about something than I do. You know what I mean? In the sense that then you know if something is not reading right, one of them is going to know it. And I don't have any ego in these processes at all. It's like it's about collaboration. So all we want to do is make the best movie. So to have those resources, and Ed as well, at our disposal, and with the passion that they have for this project, it's just a gift. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, he was really passionate. Tim's a very passionate man. Yeah. I mean, he comes from that area. In Philadelphia, very passionate people. He's strong. Let's get it done. You tell me I can't get through this door. Yeah. Well, then I'll find a way to get in. Whether it's I don't know how, but I'll be there. Yeah. And it's like this type of guy. It's like you see him outside and you're inside. Like, wait a second, how'd you get in here? Yeah. And he does it, and he did it. I really give him a lot of props for it.
Totally, and I think that he also, you know, because getting a movie made is next to impossible, but and then getting it released. But he also, I think, really very consciously went after actors who have a lot of experience, because that was an area that was more new for him. Mm-hmm. So he had this great amount of passion, talent, the historical facts. He wrote a really wonderful script. He had a really strong sense of what he wanted, but he also then brought in people who were really, you know, very knowledgeable at what they do, and that's always what you want. It's a sign of
open as a director, and being able to take criticism well and be able to take ideas. You know, when you get the film made, then you got to get the film edited, and then what are you going to reshoot if you reshoot anything? Sometimes you run into problems where people are just like, no, this is the way it is. I'm not going to do anything to it. And succeed or fail, whatever their journey is with it, that's what it is. Yeah. Tim was very open to what the other person had to say and adaptable, I thought.